Hi, Elle here, and I'm sitting out on a little bridge of this little bubbling stream this morning. So welcome to Living Pressure Free with Elle. If you're new to my show on this Sunday, I'm Elle Ingalls, creator of the Pressure Free Method, and that method is a very unique on-the-go stress management method that helps you release or actually stop the stress cycle. The stress cycle is what we need to stop, and that's what Pressure Free does for you. So I want to take a little walk this morning with you. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see what I'm seeing as I walk. We're going to start with this stream because this stream is what inspired me to talk about money this morning. I've been talking about money with several of my clients lately, and I was just kind of inspired by the fact that it's late summer here in Michigan, and the stream has come up. You can see the banks here has come up this high during its biggest flooding time, but now it's still trickling, it's still flowing. And if you're running into money issues right now, if you have some money problems, do you still have some sort of little trickle coming in? That's the first thing that I want you to notice is what do you have? What can you be grateful for in this moment? Without flow and without gratitude, money just doesn't flow. It doesn't come to you. You don't, it's very difficult. So you got to tune in to what is flowing in your life. So find some kind of flow. Go out to a stream and just look at it for a little bit. See this activity, this incredible activity that's a constant little flow. Not as huge as when the big flood was happening, but there is still a flow. So tip number one is to tune into some sort of energy flow, because money is energy. And we tend to forget that. I'm going to walk because down here by the stream there are some mosquitoes. So step one is just to tune into some flow. The second is to know that if you have if you want financial freedom, your first step actually is to have emotional freedom. Stress is going to block any sort of financial flow for you. The moment we go into stress mode, we tighten our body in certain places and we shut down our ability to think very well. If you can't think very well, then you can't be resourceful. And you need to be super resourceful if you're running into trouble with money, if you need to find flows of money. There's as much money as there was 6 months ago on the planet as there is right now. It's flowing somewhere, or it's getting stuck in places. So you might have to get a little resourceful during this time to find some flows of money coming into your life. And tip number two is to become emotionally free. If you stress about money, if you start to have a thought in your mind like, oh my God, how am I going to pay my bills this month? That is your moment. That is your moment to relax your abs, to smile a little bit, and to ask that question, how can I become resourceful? How can I bring some growth as far as my money streams are concerned, some growth into my life? There's so many ways when you can get resourceful, when you can start thinking about that. So that's step two, emotional resilience. Start living pressure free. If you want help with that, please message me. I would love to connect you to all my online courses, my private coaching to help you with that. I also have a money course. So that money course is a pressure-free money course. And it has real tools. It has real ways to help you. Wow, I've got a nice, wonderful family here. So I'm going to say hello. Good morning. Or is it afternoon by now? So you want to start getting into the space where you're not triggering the fight or flight stress response. We've been conditioned, most of us have, to trigger over money. Some of us grew up in homes where that was the big issue and that's what people fought over. We've been conditioned to feel like we can't afford things. How many times in your life have you said, oh, I'd love to do that, but I can't afford it? I'd love to go on a trip. I'd love to, buy this, but I can't afford it. So we've been conditioned to not work to have things happen. We will actually just shut off the option altogether. So turning some of those limiting beliefs around, that's what I do in my course. Until you can get some of that sorted out and straight, then nothing much is going to change for you. So second step is to start to gain some emotional resilience. So when you start to get tight about money, you actually relax your body. You relax your body, you relax your thoughts, and you tune into those empowering questions I teach you. Things like, how can I find a new stream of money right now? Who can I partner with? Maybe you can partner with someone to start creating a stream of money for your family. So get creative. You can't be creative when you're in stress mode. That's why we have to stop the stress cycle. Go a whole 9 hours or 24 hours if you're a woman, 9 hours for a guy. Go that long without triggering, and then your brain is going to start to come up with cool answers. So that's tip number 2 for you today. Tip number 3 about money is, and this is a hard one, you've got to take your head out of the sand. You've got to kind of get up and above. Do it with your body too. Like when you push the Ferris wheel with me, we're getting up and over the situation so we can solve it. Until you actually take let's look at this. This is a good metaphor for it right here. This is your money situation. A lot of tangled roots. A lot of tangled roots. And if you can't, right in this moment, tell me what your net worth is, then you don't really have a good handle on your money. And I'm sure you've heard all those things, like when people win the lottery, in a matter of months or years, it's completely gone. The money's completely gone because they didn't know what to do with the money. They never had that much money before. There was no plan. So money comes to you when you take good care of the money you already have. Taking good care of it means just taking a little bit of time. What I teach you in my money course is like, just take a little bit of time every month so that you know your net worth. You have that bottom line number. Your net worth is one number. It might be negative right now. It might be positive, but it might not be as big as you want it to be. You could be beating yourself up for saying, wow, I should be so much further along at this point in my life. But wherever you are, if you can stay emotionally resilient, stay pressure-free, and just look at the number and go, okay, that's my number. Next month, this is my number, and this has been my situation in the past. What will your number be at the end of the next month? How can you become more resourceful? When you start to ask that question, stuff will happen. But you need to get your head out of the sand and be really clear about what your money situation is. There's so many ways that you can plug the leaks, and that's part of this money situation assessment. Like, what bills are you paying for that you don't really need right now? Some people actually bought more subscriptions so they could entertain themselves during this time, but meanwhile it's just sucking money out of your bank account. So it's like, take a really close look and say, okay, where can I plug the leaks? Start with plugging the leaks, and now you're going to have a little bit more money to play with, even if it's just a couple dollars. We did a cool thing with our kids many years ago. I took all of our utility bills and made a chart, and I showed them what the average was, and then we went ahead. This is another really cool spot, by the way. And then we went ahead and every month we set a budget. If we made or exceeded the goal of that budget, we put that extra money in a little family fun account. And then, like 6 months later, we use the money for a really fun thing. So it taught my kids what a budget is. It taught them how to not be afraid of looking at the money, but actually really dig in. And it's so paid off as I watch how my sons handle their own money. It's incredible. It's incredible. They're like 25. Oh, how old are they? 20? I forget. What year is it? They're 28 and 26, and they've paid off their student loans. Like $30,000 in student loans. They paid it off. It's because they saved. They knew that they needed to know their numbers. So on a day when you're not all stressed, that's the day when you get your head out of the sand and you take a look at your numbers and you know them. And the numbers you want to know are, number one, your net worth. How do you get that? everything you own minus everything you owe. So everything you own, those were steps, by the way, I'm out of breath, minus everything you owe. Then the other place to look is your profit and loss. What is a profit and loss? Everything you earn minus everything you spend. Though that's all you really need to start to do. What do you own? Maybe all you own is a bicycle right now. You own a bicycle, it's worth $200. That's something. Maybe you owe, I don't know, money to a friend, money for student loans, money on your house. So until that house is free and clear, you don't own it. You don't own all of it. The bank or whoever lent you the money owns part of it. So go ahead and get real about it, because this is what's kind of cool. When you're putting together what you own, those are your physical assets. Here's what you build assets with. They're your intangible assets. I learned this from my coach, Robert Allen. Your intangible assets are things like your intelligence, your skills, your knowledge, your personality. Are you a happy person? Are you a generous person? Are you kind? These are assets. Everything that you have learned, all the things that have happened to you, have built skills for you. So thank you, Colleen. You're liking this. This beautiful place, by the way, is Blandford Nature Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's my home away from home. It's in my backyard, so I'm here every day. So your intangible assets are the things that you can create tangible assets with. Your amazing brain. Your brain doesn't feel so amazing when you're anxious and depressed. Your brain doesn't even feel capable of solving a simple decision then. And that's the power of Pressure Free. I help you turn that brain back on so that you can make really, really cool decisions, so that you can think up really cool ideas. Get creative. Your brain wants to be creative. Every human brain is creative. It's just how we're built. So if you hear yourself saying, I'm just not very creative. I just learned this yesterday from John Assaraf, by the way, who's another coach of mine. This idea of, if you say, wow, I'm just not very creative. Here's what you can say. In the past, I wasn't very creative. But now I'm learning how to become more creative. If you've got a money issue, if this is hard for you, then here's your statement. In the past, saving money has been difficult for me, or managing money has been difficult for me. But now, as I move forward, I'm learning new ways to manage my money and to become financially independent, whatever it is your goal is. So I hope this is helpful. You've had a nice little walk with me today. It is really beautiful. I should come out here just in case the egrets are out here. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my phone out on my walk the other day, and two beautiful snowy egrets were doing a flight dance in the air. Too cool. To me, nature, I come out in nature because nature teaches me abundance. I see all the beauty and all the growth. I see things being very streamlined to work well, like birds, fish, and it just inspires me. The egrets hang out over there across the road here in that pond, and they're not out today on the trees, so they must be off somewhere. Well, have a beautiful pressure-free day. Thank you, Kathleen, Mary, Colleen, Amy. I'm so glad you joined me today. This is, if you know someone who's struggling with money, it's really, people will tell you, you gotta get your mindset straight. Well, how the heck do you do that? Pressure Free can surely help you really unlock. So I wish you a great pressure-free day. Bye.